Hello, Coolers. Welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on some interesting updates. We start with Nico Gonzalez. It has been reported that Barcelona are concerned about the loanee's game time and could send him to a different team, on loan in the month of January. We are going to be discussing on that as we move ahead. Then, secondly, talking about our sporting director, Matteo Alemany, as it has been reported that he is planning to address 5 contract renewals in January. We are also going to be discussing on that as well. So guys, before we get right into the stories in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch the video right up to the very end. Earlier this month, Barcelona president Joan Laporta and director Matteo Alemany held a meeting with Portuguese super agent Jorge Mendes. While the main agenda for the meeting was believed to be the contract renewal of Alejandro Balde, the parties also discussed the situation of Barcelona Nico Gonzalez. 20-year-old Nico joined Valencia on loan during the summer window, but has found game time so hard to come by under Gennaro Gattuso at the Marsella. Indeed, Nico has played just 321 minutes of football across 8 matches in La Liga, starting just 3 of those. And according to Sport, Barcelona are concerned about the limited game time that the La Masia midfielder is receiving at Valencia. The same was discussed during the meeting with Jorge Mendes last week. It is further claimed if Nico's situation does not improve until January, Barca will look at the possibility of recalling him from Valencia. However, they could not keep him at the Spotify Camp Nou, but instead sent him out on loan to a different European club. It must be noted that the 20-year-old Spaniard had several options to choose from in the summer. The possibility of staying at Barca was also in the table for the young Spaniard. However, Nico and Mendes decided that Valencia would be the best bet for the player and the club, to get plenty of minutes under Gattuso. But, that has not been the case exactly so far. And Barca do not want the year to go down as a waste, as they wish to see Nico develop and return to the club as an improved player. So, in case he does not see more regular involvement in Valencia shirt over the next month or so, there could be a chance that the Catalan Giants recall him in the January window and send him to a different team where he can play with more frequency. Nico Gonzalez was a rising star in midfield last season, but it was so unfortunate that our midfield was really choked up. It was quite understandable that Barca had to loan him out in the summer because seeing the potential that Nico has, it was just natural that the young star get more minutes elsewhere in order to grow up in his career to become a better player. And Valencia was where he chose to go. But unfortunately, Nico have not been playing as Barca could have liked to see. Gattuso, the boss of Valencia, have not really favored Nico in important games. Nico just started playing. I think when the season started, Nico had a good number of games playing. But as time went on, he became more of a bench product. And at Barcelona are not really quite happy about that. So Barcelona are considering the possibility of transferring Nico from Valencia to another club when the winter transfer window comes in January. And of course, let's see how it goes, his situation over there. But I think if it continues like this, Barca will do just that. Of course, recently the Valencia boss Gattuso, speaking in the press conference, was asked by the media because reports were already started circulating about Nico's future and the way he has not been playing as many people thought. But Gattuso said no, he does not know anything about that. He does not think that will happen. He thinks Nico is still an important player, but he did one thing that I appreciated about Gattuso's words. He did make mention of the fact that he wants Nico Gonzalez to continue working hard in training because he gives more minutes to players who work hard and deserving a spot in the starting 11. I think just from that statement, you can see Gattuso trying to indirectly say something there about Nico. That Nico needs to improve. Every coach has his own person. According to him, maybe Nico is not that sharp to start the games, except he sees something different in training. Then maybe he can change his mind from there. So Barcelona are still so keen to see how it will evolve when it comes to Nico's playing time at the Mastaya, because they are so keen to ensure that Nico gets a lot of playing time there so that you know he can develop in his career. Because Barca, their plan B is, if Nico don't play as much as they want, then it is likely that in the January transfer window, Barca will remove him from Valencia and send him to another club on loan. Then moving on to the next story of discussion, Barcelona have several players on their books whose contracts stand to expire at the end of the ongoing campaign, and according to Sport, Barca director Matteo Alemany will address the contract renewal situation of five such players: Inaki Pena, Marcos Alonso, Memphis Depay, Hector Bellerin, and Sergio Roberto in January. The report adds that among these five players whose deals run out on June 30, 2023, only two are guaranteed to have future at Spotify Camp Nou beyond the current season, and those two being Inaki Pena and Alonso. Pena, who has been promoted to the role of second-choice goalkeeper this season following Neto's departure, is seen as the future of the goalkeeping department at the club, and it is claimed that the Catalans will see no issues as far as his renewal is considered. As for Alonso, Barca are said to value his versatility and experience and will renew him by 2 more years, as was agreed with the Spaniard at the time of his signing from Chelsea, when he accepted a significant pay cut to join. Meanwhile, the other three, that is Depay, Bellerin, and Roberto, are staring at uncertainties at the Camp Nou. With Depay's case, the Dutchman was so close to leaving the club in the summer itself until the deal with Juventus collapsed. He is no longer a prominent member of Xavi's team, and his wage demands could also be an issue for Barcelona. Meanwhile, Roberto is unlikely to be given a renewal by the club, as the need to bring in a new right back before the next season kicks off, given that the Mastaya A's injury records and recent performances. This could be his final season at the club. As for Hector Bellerin, there are plans to extend his contract based on his performances, but the former Arsenal ace has hardly played since rejoining his boyhood club this past summer, so his situation remains unclear at this point. Alemania will focus on these five players and resolve their issues one way or another in January. Following that, the Barcelona director will shift his focus to the stars whose contracts are down in 2024, namely Ousmane Dembele and Alejandro Balde. It must be noted that Sergio Busquets' contract expires next year, but the club captain is expected to move on when his deal runs out. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.